Good evening, people. Let us see if this is actually running on my channel. Yeah, short videos. Okay. Live. Hey, that's what we're talking about. That's what we are talking about. Let's go check this out. Yellow. Let's see how this is. Okay. So I see it is going through. That's very good. Okay. So, good morning, people. This is. Yeah. We got this. We got this. We got this. I just had to check everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, good morning, people. Today this is, sorry, I'm a bit sick. This is SDA Premium, and we're going to be going through the Four Horsemen and my first slideshow over the Four Horsemen, and my second one being all the other details and stuff I missed that I created over several periods of time. I don't expect everything in here to be entirely accurate because, as you know, I am just a kid, but I've done my research. Okay, so let's go ahead and head up this first one. My scoop back so you guys can see me more. So the Four Horsemen. So just go ahead and switch. So the Four Horsemen. So that's your common reenactment. Oh, also, if you guys didn't see in that top left corner, we have a link to our YouTube channel. Kind of cool. Okay, is it factual? Is it factual or is it a hoax? Believe it or not, the Four Horsemen are actually found in Revelation chapter 6, verses 1 through 8. They are stated in the order as follows. We have the white horse, and we have the red horse second. Third, we have the black horse. Fourth, we have the pale horse. Now, we're going to go into the depth of what these four mean and why we need to know this stuff. So, the white horse, let me move my thing real quickly. Yeah, okay. The white horse. It is found in verses 1 and 2 of Revelation chapter 8. And yeah, I believe it is Revelation chapter 8. No, 6. Revelation chapter 6. Verses 1 and 2. And so here are let's read it first, okay? Let's read it. Let me pull it up on my phone. So if you open up, I'm using the King James Version, by the way. I think that is the most accurate Bible. Though it may not be as easy to understand as some of the other ones, I think it is very, very effective in general. And it's just necessary to go off the off of directly what the Bible says instead of all of these very, very changed Bibles. Is what was it? So Revelation 6 verses 1. 6:1. Actually, you know what? I can just pull it up over here. I have it right here. Please don't mind the way it's first stream in a while. Revelation 6. Okay, so verses 1 and 2. And I saw the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So this little one does not really go in depth too much over the white horse. We have verses 1 and 2, and here's the general stuff that he has. So he has the bow, he has the crown, and he has the power to conquer. Three most notable things here. And in the Bible, it's most often that white represents purity and holiness. So but we know that these guys are not for God. They're against him. And especially when they're welcomed by one of the four beasts, which isn't really so good. So white represents purity and holiness. So we can conclude that the first horse tries to be holy. Now, where do we get that white represents purity and holiness? Well, as you know, the Lord gives us white robes because they're clean. As you notice right now, I'm wearing a blue robe. But what's it called? This is well, this is showing us that since you have been purified and your sins are taken away, God gives you a white robe because it shows the cleanliness, the purity, you know. So on to the next one. For Chilo, the red horse. Okay, in verses 3 and 4, let's read that real quick. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. So here are the three most notable things we can get from this. We have the great sword. He takes peace from the earth and makes people kill each other. I know it's not so visible on the screen as in text-wise, especially with white text over white text. But I was beginning with my slideshow journey whenever I made this, however many months ago. Anyways, red commonly represents sin and sinfulness. It also represents bloodshed and even temptation. So I had the verses Proverbs 23, verses 31. Whatever other verse that was, but I literally cannot read that. So if we pull up 23, verse 31. It says, "Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth with like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder." So, why did I put that verse? So it's saying, just like how the red serpent is red, something like wine is when it becomes red, not all of a sudden is associated with, well, something that you're not supposed to do. And now all of a sudden bites like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. So red kind of shows us when it's devoted to sinfulness. So on to the next slide. The black horse in verses 5 and 6. So let's go back. Okay. Let's read that real quick. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst. The four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." Man, did I read? Yeah, I read one past it, but y'all know what I was trying to do. So, here it's 2 notable things. A little pair of balances with a question mark because I didn't really understand it at the time. But I will come back to that in my second slide. And it was told not to hurt the oil in the wine. So I should have put a verse for this. But this is, I think, an interesting thing. Along with the grains, oil, and wine were blessings from God. Okay, along with grains, oil, and wine were blessings from God to Israel. So we can assume that it can't take away what God gives us during the last days. So I think that's pretty good. That should be a bit more hope for us people growing up or living in these last days. And I believe that that we will still go through tribulations, but God will still bless us and give us increase throughout these last days. And it's good to know that Satan cannot take these things away. Very reassuring. Okay. So let's continue. Black represents punishment and was used to describe Satan and his evil acts. Now I wish let's see if I can find the verse. So black as punishment, and is used to describe Satan and his evil acts. So there are 2 immediate questions, not questions, but answers to this one question. So the question is, if the black horse isn't attacking what we have, then who is it attacking? Now, I believe it could be us. As I said, we're going through tribulations ourselves, but it could also be the other people on the earth. And I know they think they're going to get away from the trouble, but they're really not. They still have to endure the same things we do. It's not like there's any special treatment to the Christians, but it will be more harsh on us because we'll be going against the will of the world, the way of the world, and we have to get away from that stuff. So, anyways, continuing on, let's see what I have on this final slide. The pale horse. Verses 7 and 8. Let's go back a bit. 7 and 8. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So the verses after this are very important. It starts to get more complicated. But here we have the pale horse. So we're back to up to 3 main attributes. We have Death rode the horse, hell followed it, and it kills with hunger, death, and beasts. I forgot to put commas there, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself. But you guys stuck to the gist. So, it's pretty obvious whenever they say death and hell that this is not a good thing. And in fact, none of these four horses are. None of these are doing any sort of good for us as Christians and Adventists in particular, for me. And yeah. So I don't know. Just stay on the watch for that stuff. But this one seems to be especially bad. But there was only one other time that the word pale in specific was mentioned in the Bible that we can go off of. And it's not really a good thing for this. It's obviously not this. So pale was used to describe Isaiah and in Isaiah 29:22. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale." So that's obviously has to do more with like embarrassment rather than rather than, you know, what we're looking for here. And I really don't think that someone who kills with hunger, death, and beasts and is really going to make people embarrassed. So I did more depth into this on my second slideshow, which we'll actually pull up in a second. But I don't know, very interesting topic. We'll go. I actually figured this out. I think I followed an Ellen White thing. So if I were to pull up my second presentation. So the four horsemen reestablished, or the second edition. And I know we're already jumping right into this, but if you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat. Click on a message. Type a message. If I were to type a message, just out of curiosity. Very interesting. Anyways, how did that go on the stream? Okay. That is very cool. There we go. That's what we like to see. Okay. So on to the next slideshow. So let's pull this up. So I'm going to go hide in the bottom right corner of the screen. Four Horsemen, second edition. So this is what I made, like, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks after my first presentation. Because it took significant amount more research, I think. And I don't know, it's a bit longer than the other one, but I'm still going to keep this stream pretty short considering that it's 11:01 p.m. on the January 3rd, 2025. Anyways, let's review what we've done so far. So we learned the horses are the results of the opening of the seals. And I don't actually explicitly state that, but whenever we read the verse, it started each one with, and the Lamb opened one of the seals, and opened the second seal, and the third seal, and the fourth seal. And then, I don't know, I probably should have mentioned that, but still good to know here and now. The horses take peace from the earth in varying ways. just learned about this and what the 4 ways are, but I didn't explicitly mention what the final one was either. So, and the colors of the, okay, so yeah, last bullet point. The colors of the horses have meanings. So if we use some symbolism as a, I don't know, take some symbolism out of it, see what we looked at what other points in the Bible used the colors as. So we could get some more out of that. Man, the coffin is really getting to me. Should probably grab some water sometime soon. I don't mind. But what's this on the side? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I will take that. So actually, that might not be good. Anyways, whatever. I won't worry about that. What we will learn in this cycle. So we'll learn the meaning of the weapons, as in the sword, the balances, all that stuff. When the horseman will appear, and what this means for us. So I know I was kind of hinting at this during the thing, but that's literally the whole point of what we're learning here. Like, who cares if the horse is going to be like destructive or whatever it is, or it represents death and is rode by hell and all that jazz. If it has nothing to do with us. I mean, that's obviously not true. You still research the beginning of the Bible and all that stuff. You know, we still should learn about the things that God has in the Bible. But that's a very good reason to to research parts of the Bible, because it shows what it has to do with us. Sorry. No, I just haven't been on my standards or something. Next slide. So we have the first thing. This is for I believe it's for the, the white horse, yeah. Whichever ones. Okay, I'm sure. So the bow, I put that it represents false truth. So in the Bible, we have the armor of God. Okay. So let me see if I can pull up a little diagram. Hold on. Okay, this one should be good. Let's screen share. Let's extra. There we go. Okay, so armor of God. We have the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, belt of truth, the sword of the Spirit. That's what I meant to put in there. Shield of faith, and the feet of peace. So if I were to go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17. Okay, stop sharing this tab. 6 verse 17. It says, wait, am I stupid? I forgot the breath. So it just mentions the sword of the Spirit. And what I had for that is, where is my slideshow? Pulled up. I mismarked it. Okay. I put false truth because I read it wrong. mix it up in my brain. It's not truth. It's spirit. It's the sword of the spirit. Now, what is the spirit in the King James Version Bible? Well, we know the soul is the body, and the spirit is the breath of life. The spirit returns to God, and the body returns back to dust. And what's it called? What's I saying? So actually, the sword of the spirit, I honestly don't know. I need to do more research into this before I can give you guys a good, strong answer. But it's something you can do research for your own personal studies. Okay. So the great sword. This is mentioned for Ephesians chapter 6. I didn't go there. Revelation 6. Yeah. If we look in verse 4, empower to. So yeah, the white horse had trying to think of it. The white horse had a bow, okay? And the power to conquer and stuff like that. The red horse, the power was it? What? Oh, and in the last sentence of verse 4, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, this is the next one we have a topic over. Okay, don't forget that YouTube in the top right. Okay. Anyways, the great sword shows that the horsemen will bring war. It is going to bring forth conflicts throughout the world. Now, to bring forth conflicts throughout the world. Okay. The great sword. What else is this mentioned in the Bible? Let's see if we can pull it up. So, great sword. I should have literally put a verse with it. So, I'm just using this random one as an example. As an example. Ezekiel 21:4. It is the sword of the great men that are slain. Wait, am I reading this right? No. Well, whatever. Anyways, I should have literally put the verse for this one. For these things. Right? I feel so stupid whenever I don't do these things. But still, you shouldn't feel. I shouldn't. There's no reason for me to. Continuing on. Let's pull this up over here. Drag this over here. Okay. So, anyways. Where was I? The great sword shows that horsemen will bring forth conflicts, terrible conflicts throughout the world. And some of these I got from other sources. I don't remember what ones. I literally should have put that down too. Man, I'm one insane. Anyways. Continuing on to the next one. So, hit that button in the top right. Why do I have to have so much precision for this? Okay. The pair of balances. Good. So, everywhere else in the Bible, balances represent fair and just actions, kind of as you would expect it to. Okay? It's explained by Proverbs 11:11. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this. I will pull this up for you guys. So, because I haven't been doing that either. I might as well show you guys the verses. so you guys don't think I'm lying to you. Proverbs 11, verse 11. Alrighty. Screen share. Alrighty, here you go. And boom. So, by the... Did I put the right verse? I don't think I put the right verse. Blessing of the city is exalted, but is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. Man, why did I put it the wrong verse? I'm not going insane. This live stream stuff is driving me crazy. I'll get back to you guys eventually. Check my posts, because I'm going to post on YouTube the stuff later. Let's go ahead and skip forward back to where we were. 11:01. Okay. No, a false balance is an abomination. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is in his delight. So, basically, you want a good balance, a just weight. It's to his delight. And this seems to be a false balance, which is not good. So this will be an abomination to the Lord. Anyways, continuing on. In this situation, since it's practically the opposite of it, it's an abomination to the Lord. Instead of representing fair and just actions, it'll represent unjust and unfair actions against God's people. Which is obviously shown from the mark of the beast, for example. No shopping on, I don't know, no shopping in general, except for if you worship on Sunday and that stuff. But I'll go more into depth on it in a later stream. But right now, not gonna do that. So all this balance of bears, anyways, pair of balances is wielded by the black horse. I say wielded like it's a weapon, but it's really not. But sir. So oh yeah, next slide. Sorry, my memory doesn't happen to be the best unless I try to. But what we've all been waiting for. The true meaning of the whale horse. This required me to do a bit of a deeper dive. Because in the last slide, it seemed to be unknown, but it's really not. It's really not. So, pale horse is the color city event, but with a bit of a deeper dive, we notice a very interesting connection that's very commonly uncovered. This being the idea that pale was commonly thought to be the color of leprosy during those times. And we can use that in correlation with the pale horse to determine that the pale horse may also use plagues to attempt to break God's people apart. So it's very interesting to know. Just one more thing to watch out for. And we don't have to fear this stuff. We know that God has us in his hands and that he will protect us during the times of need. And he will bless us and he will guide us and lead us down a certain narrow path that he has set out for us. And so make sure that you're not scared of these things and that you have God by your side. Because even though the people of the world are going to be freaking out and panicking, we have God. They don't. And ideally, we want to bring them to the truth. We want to bring them to God. Because the truth of that. Because they have a form. It's like a form of knowledge which denies the power thereof. But whatever there is. They just don't have the Lord by their side. And we want to try to get them over there. So is this the last slide? It is. So, wait, no, it's not. So when are the horses coming? I actually teased this at the beginning of the one. I can't believe I forgot this. Believe it or not, they are here right now. The Bible mentions how this will be taking place in the last days. And what time are we in? We are in the last days. Crazy, right? The end of the world is coming nigh. It's drawing nigh. So be aware to what is to come next. I believe that is the last slide. Oh, every single time. What does this mean for us? Be ready. Our time on this earth is almost over, so we can't let some measly men on horses hold us back from our heavenly reward. We will have to endure merciless times so that we can make it to heaven and into God's open arms. I don't know why I put this. Watch out for horses in disguise. There's not going to be horses in disguise, guys. I believe that the horses were used. There's not going to be literal horses, okay? You're not going to see some random dude on a horse holding this guy's like, what? I know that, dude. I know that. SDA Premium told me that red horse will bring lots of destruction and chaos across the world with his big, great sword. You're not going to see him just chilling in the sky like that or something like that. But it's more of a figurative thing to help John, the writer of this, see what's going on and help him to understand it. So be ready. And I believe that is the last slide. It's not. What about the rest of the seals? I'll be sharing that during next week's sermon. Stay tuned till then. And thanks for listening. What's it called? If you guys, I might do a stream tomorrow. I might not. So please be on the lookout for that sort of stuff. And stay on guard. Remember, you can always subscribe to the channel with that little QR code in the top right corner of the screen. Otherwise, it is just SDA Premium. You'll be sure to find it. And thanks for joining us. If you guys actually walked through this and hopefully enjoyed your time, I hope you guys did. I sure did. And if you guys want to be on here and maybe be a guest to my sermon, that'd be great. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, though. We're approaching just on 40 minutes, as I hope to. So, without further ado, man, why does this always happen? Let's hide that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pray. Eventually, off. Dear Lord, and have the one and true God, I thank you for bringing us here today, and I pray that this sermon can go out to the world. I pray that you bless anyone who watches or listens to this, and I pray that you protect us during these last days. Thank you for what you've done for us. Pray for all these things in Jesus' fresh, glorious, and wonderful name. I pray. Amen. Thank you for joining me, guys. make sure you, again, like and subscribe right there. That easy. Or check out the channel under SCA Premium. And make sure you come back for next week. Anyways, that is going to be